Procrastination. It's a challenge we've all faced at one point or another. For as long as humans have been around, we've been struggling by delaying, avoiding, and procrastinating on issues that matter to us. During our more productive moments, when we temporarily figure out how to stop procrastinating, we actually feel satisfied and accomplished. So let's start with the basics. What is procrastination? What does it mean? And what are we dealing with here? So human beings have been procrastinating for centuries. The problem is so timeless, in fact, that ancient Greek philosophers like Socrates and Aristotle developed a word that described this type of behavior, and that's acrasia. So acrasia is the state of acting against your better judgment. It's when you know you should do one thing, even though you know you should be doing something else. So loosely translated, you could say that acrasia is procrastination or a lack of self-control. So procrastination is the act of delaying, avoiding, or keep putting off a task or a set of tasks. So despite our good intentions, our biology plays a role here. The human brain has a tendency to value immediate rewards more highly than future rewards. The best way to understand this is by imagining that you have two selves, your present self and your future self. So when you set a goal for yourself, like losing weight, writing a book, or learning a language, or like me this morning and my home yoga practice, you're actually making plans for your future self. You're envisioning what it is that you want for yourself in the future. Researchers have found that when you think about your future self, it's quite easy for your brain to see the value in taking those actions for the benefits that come long term. And this morning I shared an earlier post about the benefits that I personally reap from doing yoga, but knowing that and deciding to act still wasn't an easy step for me to take today. So while the future self can set goals, only the present self can take action. And when the time comes to make a decision, you're no longer making a choice for your future self. You're now in the present moment and your brain is thinking like present self. And researchers have discovered that present self really likes instant gratification and not long-term payoff. So the present self and the future self are often at war with one another. The future self wants you to lose weight or do yoga, but the present self wants to do donut or scroll through Facebook. So we all know that, we should be eating healthy and doing all those things to avoid being overweight in 10 years. But it seems like years away, right? So similarly, we all know the importance of saving for retirement via superannuation, but the fact is that it's decades off when we're in our 20s that the shine of putting extra cash into superannuation is pretty dull. It's far easier for our present self to see the value in buying a brand new pair of shoes than it is throwing that additional $100 a month into your future 70-year-old self. So this might be a reason why we go to bed feeling motivated to make a change, and then when we wake up, we're back to our old patterns. Your brain values long-term benefits when they're in the future, as in tomorrow, but it values immediate gratification when it comes to the present moment, as in today. So you cannot rely on long-term consequences and motivate your present self. Instead, you have to make a way for future rewards and consequences to be far more appealing to present self. I said this morning in my Facebook post that I would share the strategy I used and that you might actually also find helpful that had me actually stop scrolling and start my yoga practice so that I wasn't faffing about. There are a number of strategies to put into place to assist with procrastination. And the one I used today was to make the goal more achievable or desirable. So what I did was I negotiated with myself. I made a deal with myself to do the first 5 minutes of the yoga class that I'm teaching this weekend to help cement the sequence in my mind. Because originally I was thinking 60 minutes. So I went 5 minutes versus 60 minutes. I was sold. And do you know what? I just started straight away and I ended up doing 40 minutes of the sequence And so it's not the doing that is the painful part, it's the starting. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.